And we're live again. We are here to take it away. The other one, was a little bit more serious. We talked about Byron Scott, which puts nobody in a good mood. We also talked about Laker fandom, which the last couple of years, again, puts nobody in a good mood. So we're going to talk about something that puts everybody in a good mood, thinking about grown men falling and benefiting by falling. So we're going to figure out who are the NBA's top 5 floppers. We're going to go position by position. We're going to try to come up with a starting 5 who would just drive everybody batshit trying to watch play basketball. So we're going to start at the point guard. We're going to go with the new guy. Tom, why don't you, who's your point guard who flops the finest in the NBA?
Well, the obvious answer is Chris Paul, so that's probably the correct answer. It's not like he dramatically flops all the time, though he's had some wonderful ones of those. But he does the annoying, bitchy little head snap when he fakes that he's getting fouled while he's dribbling, which makes no fucking sense. If you're fouling, your body wouldn't go every time, but that's what he does. So I would say Chris Paul. There's definitely a few hilarious, awful ones too. He had one yesterday where he just completely flailed in the wrong direction of where he would have gone if he was actually hit.
There was that one he had against DeMarcus Cousins 2 or 3 years ago where he walked into him and then flailed his arms, and Cousins was just standing there like, what the hell?
Yep. What I'm confused is how haven't we ever heard of him being warned for flopping?
I'm sure he has.
He's been warned. Yeah.
I think he's been fined at least.
I know.
Once.
I don't think he's ever been fined. Somebody posted the list, and all the guys who get fined for flopping are nobodies in the NBA. But all right, what are we thinking at shooting guard? Harrison, why don't you go ahead with the shooting guard?
I mean, kind of like his pick of Chris Paul, I might be biased a little bit by today's game of the Clippers Rockets, but I'm going to have to go with James Harden. That guy, I've elaborated on this on the podcast before, he just plays basketball in the most cynical, irritating way, where he just tries to get into the paint and draw fouls, and, yes, it's efficient, and, yes, it's good by the rules, and, I understand that it's a talent, and he's good at it, but it's just annoying to watch, and he just, he gets in there and just, swings through, throws his arm up, and it's almost like trying to score a basket is a secondary, plan for him, and, getting fouled is the first.
He's a master of the starfish flop, too. You
Yeah.
just drive through a lane and flail your arms out. He does, the head snap thing. He does everything. I can't stand James Harden.
Yeah. I didn't know we had a name for that.
Starfish flop? I mean...
I'd never heard of that.
Harden,
I must have created it.
Harden is by far, I don't even think it's close, he's by far the best flopper. There are many times where you watch the game, and if I hadn't watched 100 James Harden games before, I would think that, oh man, he's getting fouled a lot. The way that he goes through the lane and contorts his body when there's even the slightest thing, it makes it look like he's actually getting fouled. He is amazing at flopping, which is also why it's so damn annoying, because he gets so many calls because he's so good at it.
You have to wonder if he just sits there and watch tape of himself. Is you know what, the angle on that one, I should really fall this way if I'm getting hit up here. Whereas most guys, you just say, just flail and hope that they get a call. I do think, though, in the next year or so, they'll probably look at the way he swings his arms through on that layup to get contact that way. I don't see how that's any different than guys sweeping their arms through on jumpers.
Yeah, doing
that adjustment.
What's that? Point guard for a second. I need to give an honorable mention, although we haven't seen that much of him in the league so far, is Marcus Smart, because in college it was ridiculous. He flopped so hard, so many times, on so many games. It was just, oh my god, it drove me crazy.
If he played for Kentucky, he actually could have been fined, right? All right, I apologize, Kentucky. I don't think you pay your players that much. So I guess I'll take the lead here on Persity Rock. Said she's listening right now. Thank you, Persity. I'm going to go ahead and nominate LeBron for flopping at the small forward position. It's a similar kind of thing with Chris Paul, and I think there might be other potential, nominees there at that position. But just for being such a big guy, like for me, flopping as a definition is guys reacting to contact disproportionately to the actual contact, right? So like when you see a center take a charge on a point guard, it's like in which world would a 7-foot, almost 300-pound man fall over because a 6-foot, 200-pound man ran into him? That doesn't make any sense. And with LeBron being so damn big and so powerful that he reacts like all contact as he's driving to the lane is beyond me at that point. Can you guys think of anybody better than LeBron at that position?
Like Lance Stevenson's a 2. Right?
Yeah. Lance Stevenson slapping himself in the face is one of the best gifts of all time.
The Pacers Heat series all those years, like with LeBron was flopping all over the place, Scola flops all over the place, LeBron, that series is just like flop city.
Yeah, LeBron, the other thing he does too is like he makes sure that the cameras know that like he is hurt. Like after he misses a shot or commits a turnover or something, he like grabs the hip or he grabs his wrist or something, or just he does the little mouth thing. He's got to work out a jaw thing after he got hit in the face.
LeBron is so fucking corny. He's the corniest dude in the league, I swear.
He's human branding at this point.
Tony Allen's a good flopper too.
Yeah.
His flopping takes place more on the defensive side, right? Where we're talking about guys right now that flop more on offense.
Well, like I remember Tony Allen, they were playing the Spurs, I think, in the playoffs, and he had like a breakaway layup or something, and he fell to the ground and was like holding his face or something, and like they showed the replay and his face like never got hit by anything, and they called it like a flagrant. I think it might have been even a flagrant 2 because of it. But
that's incredible.
I mean, there's a lot of guards and wings that are floppers. For me, that's hardest to find, like big men that do it.
I was
gonna say
anybody better.
I was gonna say Blake Griffin for power forward if we're going there.
All right, we'll go ahead. Harrison, you're nominating Blake Griffin. We're gonna stick with the Clippers, which, like, I like Justin Russo. I think he's very smart, but trying to defend the Clippers against, being the most insufferable team in the NBA right now is a daunting task. I just don't think there's anybody that is more annoying collectively than that team. But go ahead, Blake Griffin.
Yeah, every time he gets like a player touches or goes near him, he does the head snap. He snaps the head back. He screams out in agony. Like he contorts his body like he just got hit by a truck. Like it's just you're a power forward, dude. Have some self-respect. Like he's supposed to be like this like great post-up player, and people talk about him like most power forwards, like they're supposed to be tough guys or whatever, but he does not fit that mold to me at all. He just really loves embellishing contact. I don't know if you guys have anybody better.
Tom, what do you have anybody better than Blake Griffin?
I'm thinking. I'm not sure.
I'd nominate Luis Scola because he's still in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
Those series whenever they would play the Lakers and he would fall on literally everything. I mean, one of my favorite Laker moments was Derek Fisher deciding, I'm going to knock this guy the fuck out. And he laid him out. That was incredible. Oh, man, that was great. That was such this is a foul moment.
The thing that was the best part about that is, like Fisher, I mean, if Scola wasn't known as, like, a flopper, I think, like, everyone's reaction to that elbow would have been so much worse. But because, like, a lot of people probably thought it was, like, I mean, it was clearly an elbow to the, like, face, but people probably thought he was, like, trying to sell the contact.
Yeah, it was like when Meta World Peace nearly took James Harden's head off with an elbow a couple of years ago in the playoffs. People's reaction to that was like way more outraged than it was when Derek Fisher took like just as cheap of a shot at Scola.
The funniest part about that one was
I clicked elsewhere a second ago, but did anybody mention Derek Fisher's explanation for running into him?
No.
He didn't see him. I think he said like he didn't see him or something.
I didn't see him. He literally like lined him up for 3 steps and just made sure that, all right, I'm gonna knock this fool out. And then I didn't see him there. I totally was missing the 7-foot Argentinian with super long hair. That's weird.
I remember Artest's explanation was like he was celebrating or something.
Yeah. No.
Like he said he was in the midst of a celebration. I remember like he was standing next to the refs, and he's like no, I was going like this.
Miss Ron. Why couldn't we have Ron for this year? This year sucks.
I wish he could have coached the team. That would I would have
He
every
would
game.
probably at least do shit. Sorry, we're getting back to Byron.
I guess Byron's like the opposite of flopping, right? Like if somebody were to like shove him while he's standing there with his arms, like that person who shoved him would just go backwards, wouldn't they?
He just like declined the free throws because it's not the manly way to score.
If we get Ron's or Okafor, I just want them to put a statue outside of outside of Staples Center with Byron Scott just folding his arms, looking straight ahead, so we can just have that memorialized forever.
And then like as part of the statue, have like one of those raffle things with ping pong balls. People can just, and they're all #1 picks with Jahlil Okafor on them. And hey, I got one. It could be a great souvenir opportunity. Get at me, Lakers. Ryan, we had some trouble right before we came on trying to figure out a center that would qualify in this conversation. Ryan, what did you come up with?
Pau Gasol, but mainly because he's a master of the verbal flop.
The caveman yell.
Yeah, he does that. I didn't mind it when he wasn't on the Lakers because like it worked a lot of the times. But now like whenever I watch him play against the Bulls, like it's worse than Boozer in some cases. But at least he doesn't yell and one or like grab that or
blocked.
Go in or something stupid.
This is not about flopping, but Pau has the best look of disbelief when he's turning into a ref, and he like cannot believe that they didn't call something. He's like, I can't even. He just does something that's just like, oh my god.
I'm gonna find a way to screenshot that face you just made, Tom, and that's gonna be your avatar forever.
Not do that.
It's replacing Susie. I'm sorry, Susie, but Tom just made a great face. But it is true though. Like the other great part about anytime Pau is trying to figure out or is confused about something is his arms are so long and so white that like when he sits there and he can't figure out like what's going on, you just see these humongous pieces of string cheese that just stretch on forever. And yeah, with that face Tom just made that I'm not going to try to replicate, he's pretty incredible. I can't think of any other centers. It used to be like, this is where we do the honorary shout out for Vlade Divac, who just recently somehow said that there's too much flopping in the NBA, even though all that flopping probably extended his career by like 3 years.
But I was also going to say give an honorable mention to Reggie Evans because he was the first player ever fined for flopping. So,
which should go down in history.
He's in the Hall of Fame.
I wish Vlade would have, like, as soon as they started finding people for flopping, Vlade would have just walked into the NBA office and be like, here's my retroactive fines. Like, here you go. That would have been great. But I'll say this about Vlade, and, you know, when we talk about guys falling or embellishing contact that may not have been that incredible, Shaq hitting literally anybody would make them fall across a room, like in a scene from The Matrix, right? So when Vlade said, like, a lot of it was just, this is what happens when the most powerful person in the history of sports hits you, I guess I can take some of that, but not most of it. So we came up with, who's our starting five then? We got Chris Paul, James Harden, LeBron James, who's our power forward?
Blake Griffin. And then Gasol.
Blake Griffin. And Pau Gasol is the center. Thank you guys for weighing in on that. We're going to have to tweet that out, and let's see, listeners, what do you guys think about, is there anybody we missed? If there is anybody we missed, blame Harrison because he's racist. So,
Thanks
we
for
can
that,
go that
Anthony.
route. I just love calling Harrison racist. It's fun.
So did his Reed is so did Lynn fan.
Yeah, you're gonna get a bunch of Lynn Stan followers now for calling me out.
We didn't mention Jeremy Lin in this discussion. We're all racist.
Yeah.
Yeah. How could you have a top anything without Jeremy Lin?
That's really the. I mean, that's our bad, Linstan. That's our.
I
bad.
was also gonna say, like, we should either have Byron coach this team just as punishment for this year, or have Jeff Van Gundy coach it just because it would be hilarious for like the press conferences, because he spends his games like ranting about it on TV. So it would be pretty amazing to like listen to like him like make excuses for them after games if he was coaching this team after and they were like dominating, obviously.
I would agree, but that would mean giving Byron a starting 5 of that 5. Like he doesn't get that's a reward more than anything.
They'd still find a way to lose in the second round.
They'd all be on the floor, I guess. So, all right, so that does it for both podcasts tonight. Again, thank you, Tom, for taking time out of your day. You are more than welcome to join anytime. Your ranting about Byron Scott is radio gold. So keep on bringing that heat whenever you jump on with us. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Harrison, for joining. My name is Anthony. This flopping made me think about The Walking Dead, so I'm gonna go jump on and watch that.
I bet someone gets bitten by a zombie.
What?
I bet someone gets bitten by a zombie. I heard that happen sometimes.
Ooh, oh man.
Spoiler alert.
It's a bold prediction.
I stopped watching that. I need to catch up, but I stopped. It's just not that good.
It's entertaining. It's entertaining. I mean, we've been watching Blood and Guts basically all season, so I just want to finish off my weekend with it. So. All right, guys. Thank you guys again for joining in. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all the support. Again, our Team Tank account continues to grow in popularity. I've actually, all right, this is a shameless plug on my part, and I apologize for ranting at this point, but at this point, every bad joke that occurs on Twitter, like I somehow learn about because they all attribute it to me. Like I am now to blame for every terrible joke that ever happens. My mentions are like at least, I'd say 5 times a day right now. It's all, man, that pun was bad enough for Anthony Irwin to laugh at.
Yeah, I know I did that at least once today.
I do that once a day.
Keep them coming. It makes me laugh every single time.
Well, it doesn't help that every time you
across Twitter.
It doesn't help that every time you like use the Team Tank hand, we're like, oh, here come the puns now that I'm on here. It's like you're trying to build a reputation for that.
Anthony, do you follow Adam Jacoby?
I don't. Should I?
Because he loves absolutely horrible puns, and people tweet them at him all the time, and he always retweets them.
Because I know I've sent a few to Zach Harper, Talk Hoops or whatever. He loves them, but like they actually have to be pretty decent. I try to make them bad on purpose, like as terrible as possible on purpose.
Right. Adam Jacoby's your guy. You should follow him.
All right, I'll jump on. I'll follow him right now. All right, guys. Thanks again for the 3rd time now, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Elizabeth Bempson of Slam Magazine will be joining us tomorrow, so we're looking forward to that. Talk to you guys later.
All right, thanks.